spinal movements. And when you're ready, we're going to start off with footwork. So it's up to you if you want to have a head cushion or not. So if you do, you'll see head cushion there. It's going to go on top of that headrest. Now for our footwork, we're going to have 2 red springs, or you can have 2 red and a blue spring, or you can make it heavy. Remember, you're in control of the springs, you're in control of the movements. So when you come down, let's just sit on the reformer. Let's take the hand to the shoulder, and then let's swing round, put the feet down onto the foot bar. So as always in Pilates, let's check our position and our alignment before we start. So we're going to have arches on the foot bar. Our feet are shoulder distance. We've got a line from the feet, knees, hips to the shoulders. Collarbones are wide. Pelvis is heavy on the carriage. Take a breath in to prepare. And then when you breathe out, let's push away, stretch the legs out, and breathing in as you return the carriage home. So let's keep this movement going. So we're using this to warm up the legs, but also to check in with your body. How's it feeling? Do you feel like you're pushing one foot in more than the other? Does it feel like one side of the bottom's pressing down more than the other? So this is your time to identify anything and to correct it. And let's do 4 more, and then let's bend. And let's do 3, and then you're going to bend. And let's do 2, and then bend. You've got that one more time. Now I just want you to bend halfway down. Keep the pelvis heavy. And now let's do some little pulses. So just little presses up and down. So we want to strengthen these quad muscles that help to support our knees. So let's do 10 and 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now let's stretch all the way out, stretching out your legs. And then you're going to bend as you bring the carriage back to that stopper. Let's change our foot position to our Pilates V. So make sure that all of your toes are on the foot bar, especially the little toes. Slide your heels together. Your knees are roughly about shoulder distance. Take a breath. And again, breathe out, push away, stretch. Breathing in as you bring the carriage back. And again. So same as before, checking in with the body. Trying to get the heels connected, keeping this pelvis heavy on the carriage. And let's do 4, and then bend. Every time you stretch, can you squeeze into the glutes? Squeeze the bottom, bend. 2 more, stretch, and then bend. Let's do 1 more, let's stretch, and then bend halfway, and then we pulse. So again, those little movements, but really feel like your heels are connecting. Feel like the pelvis is in neutral, the tailbone is heavy on the carriage. Let's do 10 and 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now let's push all the way out, stretch, remember squeezing the bottom, and then you're going to bend, bring the carriage back. Let's separate the heels, but let's keep the toes on the foot bar. Let's push away as we stretch out the legs. So with control, we're going to lower the heels underneath that foot bar. So feel your heels lengthen one way. The crown of the head is lengthening the other way. The heels lift up. Let's do that again. So the heels are dropping under the foot bar. And then let's lift them up. And again, the heels drop. And then let's lift them up. We're going to do 2 more. The heels drop. And then let's lift them. Let's do that 1 more time as your heels drop. And lift. Let's alternate it. Let your right heel drop. Bend your left leg. Left heel lifts. Changing over. So let's keep this going. Again, we want to focus on our pelvis being stable. And we're just lengthening out through the heel. And let's do 4 more. And let's change for 3. Let's change for 2. And let's change for 1. Lift both of your heels up. Now let's bend, bring the carriage all the way back. Now we're going to go into some spinal articulation. So if you did use the head cushion, put the head cushion on the floor. So nothing under your head for this. Let's go back to arches. Let's have our feet shoulder distance. Again, we've got that line. Feet, knees, hips, shoulders. Let's take a deep breath in. As we breathe out, can we draw the belly button in? Can you press the lower back towards the floor? Now imagine your back is glued to the carriage. You're going to peel it away slowly. It's going to be the bottom of the back, and that's the middle of the back. It's the top of the back. We want to get that line from that knee, the hip to the shoulder. We want to iron out the creases here, and we're trying to keep the carriage still, and then let the top of the back lower. The mid-back, you may feel those hamstrings as you do this. If you need to give them a stretch, just give the legs a stretch whenever you need to. We've got 3 more, so breath in, breathe out. Really make a meal out of this. This is where the work comes in this first pelvic tilt as well as the last pelvic tilt. So we're lifting up, holding it. Take a breath. As we breathe out, trying to articulate the spine as we lower, trying to keep the carriage still as possible. We're going to do 2 more here, so let's take a breath. As we breathe out, we press that lower back, articulating the spine as we lift up into that shoulder bridge. Take a breath. As you breathe out, feel that spine lowering down onto the carriage, 1 vertebrae at a time. We're going to do that one last time, so breath in. As we breathe out, let's imprint. Let's tilt as we peel all the way up. Take a breath in. Now we're going to breathe out as we let the back lower, the top of the back, mid-back, lower back, pelvis last. Keep the feet shoulder distance. Just let the legs roll to the right, just releasing off that lower back. Legs come back to the center. The legs roll to the left. Bring it back. Let's just keep this going. Make sure that your shoulders don't come up. Bring it back, and then over towards that left side. Bring it back. Let's do 1 more each side. And then we bring it all the way back, and then over to that left side. And then let's bring it back. So our next section is going to be feet and straps. Now you can still work on the same springs that you've just worked on in footwork, or you can make it lighter. Remember, you're in control of the springs, but you're going to take the straps off. So your feet straps are the biggest of these 2 hoops. Keep your feet on the foot bar, push away, stretch out your legs first of all. Keep one leg straight. As you bend the other leg in, we're going to get this large hoop, and it's going to go on the arch of the foot, and you're going to push into that strap. So as you push into that strap, you can lift that other leg up, and then you can place that other foot strap, arch of the foot, and then both legs are stretching out. So make sure the straps are equal on each foot. We're still in this neutral pelvis, the arms are down. Now from here, we're just going to bend the knees, breathing in as we bend the knees. As we breathe out, squeeze the bottom, stretch out the legs. Let's do that again. Now you can keep your legs together, so you've got some connection as you do this, or you can separate them slightly. So you've got to work a little harder and stretch. And again. So really squeezing those bottom muscles. Stretch. We're going to do 3 more. Breathing in, bend. As you breathe out, stretch. Let's do 2 more. Breathing in as you bend. As you breathe out, stretch. Let's do 1 more. Breathing in, bend. As you breathe out, stretch. Now, if you did separate the legs, bring them back together. Let's lift the legs up. So we want to keep the legs straight. What we don't want is the pelvis lifting up. So we want to keep this pelvis in neutral. And then we're going to press the legs down. And let's do that again. We lift the legs up, and then we breathe out, press down. So let's keep this going. We keep this neutral pelvis. Our spine stays in the position it's in now. We draw the navel in, getting that stretch down the hamstrings. Let's do 2 more, breathing in as the legs lift. As you breathe out, you're going to let them lower. Let's do 1 more, breathing in as you lift the legs up. As you breathe out, let them lower. Leave the legs in front. Let's turn our legs out to that Pilates V like we did in footwork. So your legs are rotated out, but you were trying to connect the heels if possible. Your feet can be pointed, they can be flexed, whatever you prefer, but we're going to go into frog. So we're going to bend the knees, the heels stay together, the knees are roughly about shoulder distance, pelvis stays still. You stretch out and you squeeze the bottom. And again, breathing in, bend. Breathe out, let's stretch, squeeze. And again, let's bend. And we stretch and squeeze. Let's do 4 more here. And let's stretch and squeeze. And we've got 3 more. Let's bend, stretch and squeeze. 2 more, let's bend. And we stretch and squeeze. Let's do 1 more bend, stretch and squeeze. Now, can we keep the legs in this Pilates V, but lift them up just like we did before? Remember, we don't want the bottom to lift, we don't want the back to move. And then we're just pressing down. And we're breathing in as the legs lift. As you breathe out, we're trying to push the heels together as you press down. And let's do 4 more here. And down. We've got 3 more, let's lift. And then let's lower. 2 more, breathing in, let's lift. As you breathe out, lower. Let's do 1 more, breathing and lift. As you breathe out, lower. Bring the legs back together. And now we're going to do leg circles. So we're going to lift the legs up. Remember, we want the pelvis to be still. Take the legs out. You can make the movement as big as you want, but try and keep that pelvis still. Bring the legs together and lift. Open out. Now, if the pelvis is rolling as you circle the legs, then you make your circle a bit smaller. We want to get this stability in the pelvis before we increase the range of movement. And again, circling around, and let's lift. Let's do 1 more. Let's circle the legs round, and then let's lift. Let's pause at the top. We reverse it down, and then out, and bring it together. Again, let's lower down. Let's circle out, and up, and together. And again, we've got 2 more here. Let's circle the legs round and together. Let's do 1 more, and we circle the legs all the way around and together. Then let's just stay here. Enjoy that stretch in the hamstrings. Take a breath in. Let the breath out. Again, in through the nose. And we let the breath out. From here, we're going to lower the legs down. Bend your knees in towards you. So let's take one of the foot straps off. As soon as you take that foot off, stretch that leg and it goes on that foot bar. And then you take the other foot strap off. That foot goes on the foot bar. Now you bend your legs, bring the carriage all the way back, slot your straps on the holders. Now we're going to roll onto the side. You lift one arm up. It crosses over the body to the opposite shoulder rest. So you can roll onto the side and you can come up to sit in. Well done. Good work so far. So now we're going to do our hands in straps. So let's go to 1 red spring, or you might want it a bit heavier. You might want a red and a blue. Remember, you're in control of this. If you had a head cushion, pop it on now. Now remember, to get on from here, you shuffle to the bottom. Hand is going on that opposite shoulder rest. You can swing yourself round and lie back on the reformer. So again, let's make sure the feet are shoulder distance. We've got that line, feet, knees, hips, shoulders. Let's get the straps again. So your hands are going to go through the smaller of the 2 hoops, the hand straps. So 4 fingers press through. The thumb is going to go on the outside of the big strap. Same on the other side. Now let's make sure the hands are above the shoulders. We're not flexing at the wrist joints. So already, you'll need to put a bit of pressure into these straps. We want to have a bit of a gap between the shoulders and the shoulder rest here. And as always, we need to engage those deep core muscles. So let's imagine you've got that belt on. Draw the navel into the spine, tighten that belt. That's going to support the lower back as your knees come in towards your chest. Now, let's press the arms down. As we press down, can we lengthen through the fingertips even more? Now we lift the arms back up. And let's do that again. So we don't want to be jamming our shoulders into the shoulder rests. We want to make sure we've got the core muscles switched on. If this doesn't feel good in this leg position, know that you can always cross the legs over and you can always bring your knees in a little closer towards you if that feels better. And again, good. And then let's lift up. Now get ready to lift your upper body. So look at the gap between your hands. As your arms are lower, your head follows them. As you lift up, you look forwards. So you're looking to the legs. You're lengthening into those straps. Find your challenge point on the legs. So as you stretch out, tighten that belt, pull the belly button in. Bend your knees in. Lift your arms up. Remember, you're looking at that gap between the hands as you go down. Then you start straight away again. You're curling up. You're holding it there. Then you find that challenge point. You draw the belly button in, and then you're going to bend. And then let's lower back down. You just got 2 more of these to go. So our eye line follows the movement of the arms. The legs extend. We draw the navel in, and then let's bring it back. Let's do that one more time. Curling up. Now this time we stay here. Can we lengthen the fingertips? Can we draw the navel in? Let's go into our 100. So arms up and down. We're trying to keep the carriage as still as possible. We draw the belly button in. We breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5. In. We're trying to curl that upper body up even higher. We're trying to tighten that belt even more. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5. In. And out. Come on, curl up. And in 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5. We're nearly there. Good. Come on, let's do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your knees. Well done. Lift your arms up. Let the head drop again. Cross the legs over if you want to. We're going to open the arms out to the side. Now we're going to abduct. So we're going to bring the arms into the outside of the hips. Your palms are facing in. You're pushing into the straps. Keep pushing into the straps as the arms open out. So remember, you're in control of these ropes. Don't let the ropes be in control. Lengthen down. Can you stretch more? Can you keep lengthening? The arms open out. Rib cage stays down. And let's go again for 3 and then out. Let's do 2 and then out. Let's do 1 more. Let's open out. Let's circle the arms. We lift the arms up. Press down. Open out and up. Good. And as we're circling the arms, as always, we're thinking about these core muscles. We're drawing the belly button in. As the arms circle, our rib cage stays connected and to the carriage. Open out. Lift. Let's reverse it. We open out first, and then we press down. And then let's lift up. Open out, and let's press down. And then we lift up. We've got 2 more. Let's open out. Let's press down, and then let's lift. Let's do 1 more. Open out. Pressing down, and then let's lift up. And then let's take the feet and put the feet on the foot bar. Well done. Let's put the straps back down onto the holders. And then bend the legs. Have your feet shoulder distance, just as you did before. The arms are down the side of the body. Let the legs roll to the right like you did before. Bring them back. Roll it to the left. And again, let's bring it back as you roll to the right. And then let's bring it back, rolling over to the left side. And then let's come back to the center. Let's lift 1 arm up, cross it over to the opposite shoulder rest, and then roll over that way. And then let's come all the way up. Good work. Well done. Let's stay on a red spring. We're going to do an exercise called Eve's lunge. And this is brilliant for stretching out the hip flexors. So we're going to come to standing. So you're going to stand. Let's put the right knee on the carriage. Let's put that right foot against the shoulder rest. Feel the heel lengthening. Now this left foot, we're going to shuffle it forward so that left foot is in front of the left knee. First of all, let's have our hands on our hips. Let's squeeze the right side of the bottom so that your hips are level. Imagine they're like headlights, they're shining straight in front. So push the carriage back. That's it. Just a little bit. So you're opening out that right hip. And then bring it back in. Let's do that again. Just a little bit. Press back. We're pushing through this left foot as well. Coming back. And again, we push back a little bit. And then let's come in. Perfect. Now let's put our hands on the foot bar. Wrap your fingers round. Draw the shoulder blades down. So push back. Maybe you get a little further down. And then let's bring it back. And again, let's push back. So you're opening out that right hip. And then let's bring it back. Let's do 1 more like this. Push back as you open out that right hip. And then let's bring it forwards. Now push back, open out the right hip. Now stay here. Now begin to straighten the front leg. Good. And then let's bend, come back. It's always listen to your body. See how you're feeling at this moment as to how far you want to push back. And then let's bring it back. And again, let's do one more. As we push back, we open out the hip. Good. And then let's bring it forward. Let's shuffle this right foot to the other shoulder rest. Let the knee drop down and also let that left knee drop down. So now we've got our feet against both shoulder rests. We're going to do knee stretch. So this is to work into the abs here. So let's have the hands on the bar. The fingers are wrapped round. Again, we want to feel the energy through the knuckles so there's no flexion at the wrist. Shoulders are down away from the ears. Can you move your bottom back? Okay, so now your arms stay still. They're not going to move. From here, can you push the carriage back? And can you use your stomach muscles to pull it back in? That bottom is out behind. So let's take it back. Let's breathe out, pulling in. And again, we take it back. We breathe out as you pull it in. And again, so shoulders stay still, bring it back in. Let's do 2 more, and then pull back in. Let's do 1 more, and then pull all the way back in. Now we're going to go into a plank, but I want you to listen to your body. If you're new to this, you might want to stay with the knee stretch. If you want to go to plank, first of all, step off the reformer. So for plank, put the foot on the foot bar. One foot goes against the shoulder rest, other foot on the foot bar, the other foot goes against the shoulder rest, and you get your body in this alignment. So we want that plumb line from the ear, shoulder, hip, knee, ankle. You want to make sure the shoulders are down. Want to draw the navel in. From here, you push back a little bit, and then you come forward. You'll feel like you're going to fall off the front of the reformer, but you're not. Let's go back. So even if you just maybe do a couple of these, when you've had enough, let your knees drop down and go back into that knee stretch. So what we don't want is the bottom lifting up and down. That stays still. Let's do 4 more. Once you've got that stability, you can make this movement bigger. We've got 3. And then draw the navel in as you come forward. Let's do 2. And then let's bring it forward. We've got 1 more. And then we bring it forward, right in. Step the feet on the carriage. And let's step off the back of the reformer. And now we've got Eve's lunge on this side. So I'm putting my left foot against the shoulder rest. My left knee is down. Pushing that right foot forwards, making sure the knee is in front of the foot. First of all, remember the hands on the hips. You want to try and have the front of these hips level. So we push back, just not a big movement to begin with. We're opening out that hip. And then let's bring it forwards. Let's do that again as we push back. And then let's bring it forwards. And again, 1 more like this. Come forwards. Now let's put the hands on the side of that foot bar. Shoulders are down. Let's do that again. We push back. That hip opens out even more. Then let's bring it forward. And again, pressing back. And then we bring it forwards. Let's do 1 more like this. As we press back, then we bring it forwards. Now we're going to add the front leg. First of all, let's press the back leg back. Now begin to straighten the front leg. And then the front leg bends and the carriage comes back. And again, let's push away. And then straighten. And then let's bring it all the way back. Let's do that 1 more time. As we go back and straighten. Good work. And then we're coming all the way back. Nice. Let's come off the carriage. We're going to do our mermaid stretch. You're fine with the red spring. So let's kneel on the carriage beside your shoulder rest. So you're kneeling beside the shoulder rest. So whichever side of the bottom is nearest the foot bar, that's the side of the bottom that goes down on the carriage. You can slot that front foot. So your legs are in a Z-sit position. So we want to try and get the pelvis as level as we can. If this pelvis is level, our spine will be level. But if one hip is up higher than the other, our spine won't be level. So if you feel like one hip's higher than the other, get your head cushion, put it under the side of the bottom that's lower. So that we're trying to use a cushion to balance out that pelvis. Now, once you've done that, let's place the hand on that foot bar. The hand is slightly in front of the shoulder. Shoulders are square. We're pushing away, your other arm lifts up and over. So as we do this, we're not pushing all the way out here. We're trying to keep the sit bones down. We're bending, we're curving the spine. The shoulders are down. Let's breathe into the side. As you breathe out, come up, making sure you don't tense that shoulder. Let's do that again. As we stretch over, take a breath. As you breathe out, let's bring it all the way back. Let's do 2 more here. As you stretch over, and then let's bring it back. Let's do 1 more. Next, we're going to do our snake and twist. So bring it back, turn the palm forwards and look at the arm. Now this time as you push away, that arm sweeps in front, you keep looking at it. Now it goes through the gap and you might feel the pelvis lifting a little bit, that's fine. Can you rotate the rib cage, look under the armpit? Now look at your hand, your eye line follows it round as you come back. Let's do that again. So let's stretch under. And then let's bring it all the way back. Let's do 2 more here as you stretch under that gap. Then you're going to come back. And this is your last one. As you stretch under, and then let's come back. Let's go back into that mermaid again, up and over. Now stay here. We're going to rotate. Let's place one hand on the foot bar. Adjust the other hand so your hands are about shoulder distance. If the pelvis, if the bottom wants to lift up, let it lift. Now we want to try and have our shoulders square to the floor. So feel like you're rotating the rib cage, you're pushing back, your head is between the arms. Now keep the arms straight, start small. Come forward, lift the head, look up the wall. And then reverse that eye line. As you push back, you look down towards the floor. And again, breathing in, curling up, lifting. So each time you might want to come a little closer, and it just depends on your spine, how you're feeling. So really connect with the body and down. Let's do 1 more. So we're adding that extension. We're breathing in as we come up. As we breathe out, let's push back. We're going to stay there. Whichever hand you had to the back, put it in front. So you can lift that other arm. So we're back into that mermaid. And then let's come up. Let's place the hand on that shoulder rest. The other arm lengthens. And we're just opening up the side. Take a breath in, letting that breath out. And then let's release it. Good work. Before we do the other side, we're going to do core control. And again, you're fine with 1 red. So let's kneel on the carriage facing the back. So we're going to kneel towards the shoulder rest, but we want to have a fist distance between the shoulder rest and your knees. And then from there, place the hands on the side of the frame. The shoulders are down and your hands are under the shoulders. So even though your knees are away, your thighs are going to end up resting into that shoulder rest. Now draw the belly button into the spine first of all. Shoulders slide down. Now you're going to pull that carriage into your hands, but without your shoulders moving forward. Your shoulders are still above the hands. You're pulling the belly button in and release. Breathe out, pull in and hold. And then let's release. Breathe out, pull in and hold. And release. And again, feel the stomach pulling you in. You're going to you will feel the arms working as well. And release. Breathe out, pull in. And release. 1 more, breathe out, let's pull in. And then let's release it. Now let's put both hands to the right side. Keep the shoulders down. So now we're going to target the obliques, the muscles in the waist. From here, let's pull in and hold. And then let's release. Again, breathing out, pull in and hold. We're trying not to move those shoulders forward. 3 more. Release. 2 more. And release. Good work. 1 more. And then let's release it. Let's swap the hands over. Let's swap the other hand over. The shoulders are down. Breathing out, pull in and hold. And release. Again, breathe out, pull in and hold. And release. 3 more. Release. Again, 2 more. Release. 1 more. Good work, release. Put 1 hand on either side. Now let's move the spine as we go into a cat stretch. You're looking to the thighs. But then you're seeing if you can pull that belly button in more. Can you breathe into your back? As you breathe out, return to neutral. And again, like a wave rolling through your body, let the head drop. And then let's return back to neutral. And then you took the pelvis under that movement, roll through the spine as you let the head drop. Take a breath. As you breathe out, come back to neutral. One more, let's tuck under, round the back. You're gonna stay here. Walk the hands to your knees, come up to high, kneeling now. We're gonna do our chest expansion. So you're gonna bring the knees towards the shoulder rest. So you stay with the red or add a blue if you want it a little bit heavier. Let's take the straps off. Let's put the hands in the little hand straps with the thumb on the outside again. Be very careful because you're kneeling. I don't want you to go catapulting over the reformer. So safety first. Draw the belly button in. Now make sure you're not sticking that bottom out. So squeeze the bottom, keep this pelvis neutral. So our start position is the arms down the outside seams, collarbones wide, lengthen the crown of the head. This is your start and your finish position. So from here, can you press the arms back? Now you're pressing your arms back, feel the collarbones wide, release, but just to the outside seams of your leggings. And again, so you're gonna feel your triceps, the backs of the arms. We're working into the upper back muscles. We're widening out the collarbones. And again, breathe out, press back, breathing and release. 3 more, press back and release. 2 more, let's press. And release, still squeeze that bottom, 1 more, press back. Nice work, release it. Good, let's put those straps down. So if you did change your springs for that one, make sure you go back to a red. You've got our mermaid on the other side. So remember, we're kneeling towards the shoulder rest. Let the bottom drop and have our legs in that set position. Remember, like you did before, make sure that your pelvis is level or as level as you can be. Your hand is slightly up under the shoulder. You're pushing away. You're lifting up and over. And then let's bring it all the way back to that start position. And again, stretching over, opening the side of the waist and then down. Let's do 2 more as we stretch up and over. And then let's bring it all the way back. And again, let's do that 1 more time as we stretch up and over. And then bring it back. We've got snake and twist. So we're going to turn the palm forwards. Our eye line follows the arm. So we push away. It goes through the gap. So remember, the bottom can lift a little bit. And then your eye line follows the arm as you bring it back. Let's do that again as we rotate the spine. And then let's bring it all the way back. Let's do 2 more as we rotate. And then let's bring it back. Let's do 1 more as we turn and we rotate. Then we come back. Let's go back to that mermaid that we started with. And let's stay here. Keep stretching that arm, but let's rotate. Let's put that hand on the foot bar. Let's adjust the other hand. Now we want to try and have our shoulders square to the floor. So we're trying to move through the rib cage. We rotate. Push back so your head is hanging between the arms. So let's start small. The arms stay straight, the head lifts. You just look forwards a little bit. And then let's push back, let your head drop. And again, now that feels okay. Each time, maybe you come up a little higher. If your spine doesn't like much extension, then keep it small. Remember, our bodies can sometimes change from day to day. So really getting that body awareness as you do these movements. And think of your eye line. Wherever your eyes go, the spine is going to go. Let's do 1 more here. And then let's press back. Let the head drop down between the arms. Now you take the back hand where the front hand is so that you can rotate back into mermaid. Then you're going to come up, place the hand on your shoulder rest and lift that other arm up and over. So we're stretching it out now. We're just doing that counter stretch here. Good. And then let's release. And then let's lower down. Good work. So from here, we're going to come off the carriage. We're going to use our box now. So when we use our box, or for these exercises, we don't want the carriage to move. So we're going to put all our springs on, and that's going to stop the carriage moving. So all of your springs go on. Now you get your box. We're going to have it short box. So short box, it's going to go across the back and it's going to go against the shoulder rest. From here, you're going to sit on your box. Now you'll see at the bottom here, there's a safety strap for your feet. So I want you to put your feet through that safety strap, have the feet on the wooden platform. Now always make sure that your feet are flexed because we're going to be rolling back. If your feet were pointed, they would slide out of the safety strap. So always keep them flexed. Remember, safety, always safety first on the reformer. So behind you, make sure you've got a hand space. So you've got a hand space behind you because hopefully our lower back's going to get down on that box. So we're sitting up nice and tall. Think of that line, ear, shoulder, hip. Let's cross the arms over the chest. Now we're not just going to drop back. We're going to try and tuck the pelvis. We're changing the shape of the spine. So think of lifting and tucking that pelvis under, and most importantly, pull the belly button in. So we're not rounding all the way down. We're just trying to lose the curve in the lower back. We roll just onto the back of the pelvis. Start small. You're still looking forwards. Those feet are flexed. Belly button is in. And then let's round forwards. And then let's restart the spine. Take a breath. Do that again. Tucking under. So remember, it's this movement of the pelvis tucking under. Maybe you go a little further. Keep those feet flexed. Keep looking forwards. Draw the navel in as we round forwards. And then let's come up. Take a breath. Remember, tuck that pelvis. Draw the belly button in. As we go back, take a breath. As you breathe out, we draw the navel into the spine. As you roll up and lengthen. One more like this. So we round the back. And we go back. We're looking towards the legs. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, draw the navel in. Come up. And let's lengthen. Leave go. Turn to your side. Bend a leg. Have that on the box. So your other foot is underneath that safety strap. That foot can be turned out. It can be facing forwards. Whatever is good for you. But remember, keep it flexed. Put your hand on the headrest. Have the arm down the outside of this leg. Make sure your shoulder's not rolling forward, so collarbones are wide. Pull on that strap with your foot. Pull the belly button in. Arm crosses over the chest. We're going to lower down. Good. Now we're using these muscles in the waist to lift. Hold it. Try and find a diagonal. And then down. Think of lengthening as you lift. Find that diagonal. And again, let's lower down. Let's lengthen and lift. Good. And again, let's lower. Find that diagonal. Let's do 2 more, breathing in lower. Breathe out, lift. You've got a nice stretch coming up after this. Let's do 1 more, lower and lift. Now lower down. Put your elbow and forearm on that headrest, or maybe your hand might want to go to the floor, but we're just going to drop down and the arm lifts up and over. So however feels good on your body. So your hand can be on the frame, it can be on the floor, your elbow can be on the headrest. You're pulling on that strap, the side of the body's opening out. You just take a breath in, let the breath out. Again, in through the nose. And we let that breath out. Now use your hands to carefully walk yourself up, turn face forwards. Again, make sure you've got a hand space behind you. Feet are flexed. And they're underneath the safety strap. They're on the edge of the platform. Now let's interlink the fingers together, hands behind the head. So make sure you can see the elbows. So we don't want them right out. We want to make sure we can see it, rib cage down. So we did a rounded back the last time. This time we've got a flat back. We're trying to keep that line from the ear, the shoulder to the hip. So we go back. Again, we start small. Hold it. Feel the crown of the head lengthen. Belly button is in. Imagine there's a suction cup on your chest. It's lifting you up from the chest. And again, if that's enough, stay with that. If not, go back a little further, lengthen. And then come up. What we don't want is don't want to tuck under. 2 more to go. So we draw the navel in, back of the head, pressing into the hands, hold it. Lift up through the head as you come back. Last one, as you go back. Hold it. Can you lengthen the crown of the head? And then let's come up, the arms lift. Good work, the arms lower. Let's turn, face the other side. So we bend one leg. The hand is going to go down on that headrest. Remember, the foot is flexed. The foot can be parallel and be rotated out as long as it stays flexed. Your hand is down the outside of your leg, collarbones are wide, hand comes off the headrest, it crosses over the chest, breathing in, you lower, then you lengthen, you try and get to that diagonal. And again, you're going to lower, and you lengthen up to that diagonal. And again, good, and lift. You've got 3 more, and then lift to that diagonal. Last 2, and lengthen, lift. Last 1, we're going to stay down. Put your elbow or forearm on your headrest, or put your hand all the way down, whatever feels best for you. Your other arm lengthens up and over, and you're just going to hang out there. The foot is in the strap, pulling on the strap. You're trying to breathe into the side of the rib cage, in through the nose. Let the breath out. And again, take a breath. And we let the breath out. We're going to carefully walk the hands back towards you. You're going to come all the way up to standing. Good work. And you're just going to come off the reformer. So we're going to come off the reformer just for the last little bit. We're going to wind it down now. But I want you to take that foot bar down. Sometimes taking the foot bar down is more challenging than the movement. So put your hand on the bottom silver bit and then pull it towards you. Then your foot bar is going to go down. Then we're going to turn the box, long box way. So we're going to lengthen it there. So it's long box way. You're going to stand at the bottom of the carriage. That's it. So you're just standing, feet shoulder distance. Really think of your spine. Think of that plumb line from the ear, the shoulder, the hip, the knee, the ankle, and lengthen up, grow tall. Take a breath in. We're going to roll down. So let's first of all start with the neck. Then that movement's working its way to the upper back, mid back, lower back. Soften the knees. So your arms are going to hang probably where the springs are. And let the head hang. So you're looking to your thighs. You're going to pull the belly button in. Take a breath in. Breathe out, just roll back up again, as if you were rebuilding your spine and you were stacking one bone on top of the other, like bricks building a house. And then lengthen, take a breath. We've got that again. Let's release the neck first. That movement's working its way down through the spine. Your knees soften as you roll down. You let the head hang. But this time you only come up a little bit so the hands can go on the box. The hips are above the feet. They're going to stay above the feet. You're going to push, you're going to change your springs. Yeah, make sure you've got a blue spring on. I should have warned you that. And then push away. That would have been impressive, though, pushing away with all the springs on. Yeah, you just want the lighter spring, a blue spring on. As you push away, take notice how the spines change position, but haven't got your bottom forwards, you're pushing the bottom back. Then you tuck them as if you're doing a cat stretch. You look towards the thighs. Let's do that again. Make sure you're on a blue spring. Stretch forwards, take a breath. Breathe out, bending the legs. It comes back. One more round forwards. Stretching that spine. And then let's bend as you come back. Leave go of the box. Let your head hang. Scoop the belly button and let's roll all the way up. Lengthen up. Let's lift up and over as you do a side bend to the right. And then come back. Lift up and over. We do a side bend to the left. And then let's bring it back. Let's do one more each side. So let's just go through all our spinal movements after that work. And then back to the center. Breath in, lengthen. We're rolling down again. Working your way through the spine. Make sure you've got that blue spring on. Let the head and arms hang. Come up a little bit. Hands are on the corners of the box. Push it away. Straighten the spine. Bend the knees round the back. Carriage comes back. 2 more here. Push away, stretch. And then let's bring it all the way back. Let's do one more push away and stretch. And then let's bring it right back to the stopper. Then leave go, let your arms hang. Pull the belly button in. Let's roll up. All the way up, arms cross over the chest. Keep your hips square, facing forwards. They're not going to move. We're just moving from the rib cage. We rotate, we look over the right shoulder, back to the center. We turn and we rotate, look over the left shoulder, coming all the way back. And again. So we're trying to keep the legs still. We're just moving from that rib cage, coming all the way back. Lower the arms, lengthen up. Let's do one more. Breath in, breathe out. We've got that roll down one last time. As you let the head and arms hang, come up a little bit, have the hands on the corners of the bottom. Push it forwards, remember, bottom, hips stay above the ankles, bend, bring it back. And again, two more, push it forward. Feeling that spine change shape. And then let's bring it back. And again, let's do one more. As you stretch forwards, and then let's bring it back. Leave go, let the head hang, let the arms hang. Stay where you are. I want you to feel your facial muscles relax. I want you to feel your shoulders and your arms relax. You've had that perfect balance of strengthening, of stretching, of releasing. Draw the navel in, rolling all the way up. Restack, lengthen up. Can you grow even taller? Stay there. Let's just do a little bit of post Pilates. So lengthen up through the crown of the head, and we're just going to roll the shoulders round and down after that work. Rounding down. And one more time, let's go into those spinal movements we did before, into a little side bend, and then over to the other side. As we come back, the arms cross, we rotate, and then back to the center. And then let's rotate,